Okay, and welcome to week 2 of Introduction to Excavation or Excavating. And while we're here, I'm going to scroll back up a little bit and remind you, as in the first video, please complete your pre-test. That's very important. We really can't proceed until we get that done. And don't forget your syllabus quiz. And if you need to, be sure, for sure, don't forget to do the tailgate and go ahead and publish these while I'm thinking of it, because you'll be ready to go. Uh, you'll be through with week 1, and by the time you are here, so make sure all these have been done. All these assignments, these are assignments. There's a quiz, there's a pre-test, and there's a tailgate. You'll be scored on those. And don't forget to read the criteria for tailgate posts. Uh, it's uh, it's what I look at. I don't know if I had this up before. I don't think I did, but I'm gonna go ahead and back up and take up a minute here and open this. Read the tailgate overview. It tells you what I expect in the tailgate. And this is how I'm going to grade the tailgate. Your grade will be based on this. Be sure and read all of this criteria. Make sure you understand what the points, how you're awarded points, and how you be sure and have all three responses. There's an initial, first, and a second respond in every single tailgate. If you leave one of those out, you're subject to lose either 35 or 30 points. And losing 35 points puts you below 70, which is failing. You don't want that. You don't have to settle for that. You're better than that. So down here, this is the criteria. I want your post to have relevance. And I want you to have post thorough answers to the discussion prompts or questions that I might ask, and demonstrate understanding of the material or subject matter. The second criteria is that you're contributing to the learning community. You're not sucking the wind out of us, you're bringing the wind into us. We're either going to be fountains or drains. I want us to be fountains. So post meaningful questions. I don't know why I wrote the word attempts. Post meaningful questions. In other words, if you're going to ask a question, make it relevant, make it interesting, make it meaningful. So keep us motivated. Do whatever you can do to keep the group moving forward. Creative approaches to the topics. Different perspectives. What are your views? Don't hold back. Be courteous. Uh, be appropriate, and but let us hear you. There's nothing silly. Everything is welcome. uh, Quality of post, appropriate comments, in other words, not out of the blue. you know yes, it's a pretty day today, but this is not the time and place for that. uh, Reflective, you've thought about it, reflect on it. That means to think about it. What else is missing, or what else can you add? Of course, be respectful for what others are saying. Say, I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. See, that's fine. The mechanics are your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, your sentence structure. And when I say, like, your sentence structure represents thoughtful consideration reflected through clarity. In other words, I can see that it's thoughtful because it's clear, and I'll be looking for that. So again, I said I wouldn't spend much time here, but I did want you to know how you're being evaluated and what your points are worth. So when you get back uh, to I'm not in control, just go back and read through this. And if you have any questions, give me a call, text, email, whatever. Okay, so moving on here. The introduction to excavating, that's where we want to be. Now, I've said that 3 different ways. Well, 2 at least: excavation or excavating. Anyway, it's EX 101. That way you know you're where you're supposed to be. The tailgate, I think I've went over in the video, the introduction video. So what I want to talk about now is week 2, and that's types of heavy equipment. And you think you know everything there is to know about heavy equipment. For sure, you know a lot due to either your experience or you're coming from a certificate program, which is maybe in Georgia, where you took this 3 or 6 week course in heavy equipment, mobile cranes, whatever you did, whatever's in your past. I'm sure you wouldn't be here unless you know something about heavy equipment. Well, I want to make sure you know a lot about heavy equipment and what it looks like, what it does, what its applications are, its values, its trouble spots, where it can't be helpful. When we get through this course, I want you to know a lot about that. We're being prepared for management here. So this is where this video is going to be what you're looking at right now. Uh, and uh, I'll get to that in a minute. I don't know why I got hung up. So the overview for week 2 is, let's take a look while we're here. Uh, Identify and state the primary uses of all of these pieces of equipment. What do we use this for? What do we use? What's dozers primarily used for? Trenching? No. You know, what about excavators? Trenching? Yes, right. How do you compact material? With a roller, with a compactor. What is a off-road haul truck? What does that mean? And articulate it. How many tons will it hold? 40? As a matter of fact, I think it will. And but the rigid frame, they'll hold a whole lot more than 40 tons. Those are the things I want you to keep in mind as you read through this. Let me let's see what's next by surprising ourselves. Okay, reading material. This is a link to the training guide, and yeah, you may have already read this, but read it again because you're going to have some questions over it. Once you open it, I believe it's a PDF, and I think uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a PDF, but it will respond to Control F, the search. If you're looking for something regarding the question I've asked, use this and take a shortcut, find where it is in the trainee guide. So that's the whole 30 something pages worth of reading and looking and understanding. And that's on you. I'm not going to read it to you. What's next? There's some things in there that you may not have been around very much. Motor grader. I really like this video. I think he's putting down on a dirt road some really good material. The problem with this video is he's got his camera on his hard hat and he's looking from side to side and it makes you think you're in a canoe in a storm. So bear with that, but really pay attention to some of the things he says in there. It's pretty interesting. I don't recall all he talks about, but you can watch this thing on YouTube and get a transcript if you really want to know what he's trying to say in there. But it's a real, I'll use the word cool. I'm a little bit old for that, but it is a cool video. This is talking about asphalt, how it works. We don't spend much time on that, not near enough. Those are really, really interesting equipment. Those slip form pavers, they extrude like you used to have to set forms for a curve. Well, now some of these machines can just spit that curve out in the shape you want it, and depending on the slump, the concrete slump, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's just like how thick it is, or if it'll stand on its own, or it kind of melts. uh, all that stuff. We won't get around to those things because I want you to know all that kind of stuff. Next, let's see what else is in this that might need. Here's the guy. Oh, this is the guy laying down the gravel. with his hat going from side to side. But it's a really good video if you can put up with him looking over here and looking. But that's the way you got to operate a motor grader. Here's the heel of the blade, and you have to look back and forth to see what they're doing, see what's happening there, and make sure he's making that dirt do what he wants it to do. Next in this is going to be, this is a tailgate for module 2, and it's about leadership. And there is a link, and I'm glad I went here because right here, let's see, there's a link down below, and it's about this article. Let me see where right here it is. See, it's a link, and that's where the article is. So the first thing you want to do is read that article. Maybe you can even print it. If you can, print it and pick out these things. Pick 3 of these things out. Where's the direction? The link below will take you to an article about transitioning leadership models. In other words, we went from the drill sergeant mode to my way of the highway, and now due to the lack of skilled labor or anybody, we're having to change the way we look at things. The culture of construction is in the process of changing. So this guy talks about that. The ideas, questions, and statements are not necessarily questions from me, the ones down below. They're just things to think about and pull from the article and talk about. Pick 3 of these highlighted quotes right here. I've got them. Pick 3 of them because you got to have 3 3 posts in every tailgate. So pick out 3. I don't care if you pick out the same one somebody else's does, but have something different to say about it than that someone else. But in this article, you will find all of these things and what is said about it. So, like, how has the work ethic changed? Well, this talks about that, and I want you to talk about that if you pick that. What's the importance of feedback? What is the effect of positive and negative feedback on employees? Do you want to know if you're doing things right? Of course you do. And if you're a foreman, you need to let people know when they're right. Like Jack Welch says, try to catch somebody doing something right. We're always trying to catch people doing something wrong, but look for what they do right and let them know about it. So operational excellence. I don't even want to go into that. I want you to go into that and tell me what that means. It's in that article. What can bring about operational excellence? If you're going to talk about that, tell me what that means. What did leadership value historically compared to what is valued now? That's a really good one. And think about that. What is a notable sign of bad leadership? You know, think about that. Is training important? On the job training important, and why? Why do leaders micromanage? What do you think makes them micromanage? Are they a little bit insecure? Are they afraid to let you learn? Are they afraid that you might know more than they do? But just think about those things. I like this. What is the great resignation talking about? First of all, look up the word resignation, and it'll make your whole reading more informative. Trust in the workplace, not trust the workplace, but how valuable is it for you to trust your employee? Is he going to do what he said? What is the article talking about when it suggests we move from reaction to response? Well, you go through life responding, but you can go through life looking forward, looking around the corner, see what could happen, what are the possibilities, both good and consequential. So anyway, give me 3, pick 3 of these, write something really meaningful about it. Take your time, proofread. Don't send me like one-liners that have no depth or weight to them. I don't like that. And don't send me things that say I like what Joe said. Well, you can like what Joe said, but tell me why you liked it. Okay, I'm going to get off of my uh, tailgate soapbox. Uh, I'm not going to tell you how to write, but I'm going to tell you when you need to learn how to write, and if you need help. I'll be glad to demonstrate maybe how we could say something different. But this is not a course in written compensation. We took those back in high school or wherever, or we're going to learn while we're here. So that's the discussion. Now, there's some quizzes in here. Here's some things you need to know. Be sure to read types of heavy equipment. Look at page 75 in the reading material. That's the training manual I was showing you a while ago. You should know what all of these things look like, what they do, and what their purpose, everything there is to know about it. Moldboard, you can talk about that for 30 minutes. And be sure you know what a moldboard is. So I don't have a rubric sitting up here for discussion, but I can send everybody one when I get a chance. It's early in the term, so it's a little hectic. But I do have back. We just went over a lot of the things that the criteria go through that because that's what I'm looking at. Let's see. That's enough. So this is your quiz. I'm not going to show you the answers and things right now, but I think there's 20 questions in there, perhaps. Not sure. But anyway, if you read that book, and then you can go back and forth. It's I I think it'll be proctored, so you might not be able to go back and forth. But just read the book, make notes, and you'll do fine in this. And is there anything left in week 2? Nope. We're at week 3, so I'm going to take us back to, oh, where am I going to take us? Right here. Here we are back in week 2. So we had a video about week 1. Now we've had one about week 2. I don't know if I'm not going to go into week 3 now, but let's get week 1, week 2 out of the way, get comfortable. Be sure and remember that I'm here to help. I also hope that you learn something from the things I tell you. And if you have questions, be sure and ask me beginning now. Okay, that's it. That's it for this little video. Later, guys.